Animals in danger of going extinct. Mother Nature is as giving as she is cruel. There are 8.7 million different species on the planet, and all of them are forced to duke it out in Mother Nature's private arena, called planetary domination. Luckily for us humans, we're at the top of the food chain, and enjoy a comfy lead in our superiority over other animals. However, there are some animals out there that just aren't quite equipped to deal with the changes of the modern world. Hope you're not feeling sentimental, because here are 8 animals that are on the verge of going extinct. Everybody loves turtles. They're gentle creatures that love pizza and can wield weapons like swords and nunchucks with the precision of a ninja. Of course, the degree with which turtles are proficient in bladed weapons vary, which is why some species, like leatherback sea turtles, are threatened. Instead of a hard, bony shell like other turtles, the leatherback sea turtle actually has a layer of oily skin over its back carapace, hence its name. The leatherback turtle is the largest of all turtles, growing up to 6 feet in length. Their immense size makes them vulnerable to accidental fishing. Though fishermen don't explicitly hunt for leatherback turtles, they still get caught in nets meant for more delicious species of sea animals. Although adult leatherback turtles have few predators, they're quite vulnerable as juveniles. There are only about 20,000 of these soft-shelled turtles left, and their numbers continue to dwindle. Their cousins probably fare better because of their hard shells. Everyone knows dogs are man's best friend. However, apes are the cousin of man. Apes and humans share much in common, like opposable thumbs and bipedal movement. So it's really a true shame that we would let an animal so close to us ride the one-way express bus to extinction. The Sumatran orangutan is one of those close relatives that are critically endangered. These bright orange primates are found in the rainforest of Indonesia, and the latest surveys show their population hovers somewhere around 15,000. The biggest threat to the Sumatran orangutan is deforestation. The woods are their home, but palm tree plantations make valuable oil, and the forests and the forest apes are disappearing fast. Sumatran orangutans also fall victim to poaching, as they're used for food by some tribes. Local farmers even consider these majestic animals pests and kill them in order to protect their crops. Gorillas are another species of ape that have close ties to us humans. Gorillas aren't exactly bully bait, as they're massive hulking beasts with the power to tear you in half like a wet Kleenex. So, wondering why the mountain gorillas of Central Africa are so endangered is a valid question. There are only 700 mountain gorillas left in the entire world, meaning if they were divided evenly among every country, each nation would get only 3 gorillas. Unfortunately, the mountain gorilla is presented with a number of challenges when it comes to survival. They're often hunted as trophies and collector's items, and when they're not being actively hunted, they fall victim to traps and snares not meant for them. Disease, war, and habitat loss are also other factors that have contributed to the mountain gorilla's decline. However, there is some good news. Sources and statistics indicate that their population is actually back on the rise. When it comes to horns, no other animal does it quite like the rhino. They wear their skewers with authority, and if you piss them off, they won't think twice about charging your fleshy ass. However, you can't look that good without drawing a fair bit of attention. Rhino populations have taken a steep decline since the beginning of the century. They're poached for their horns, which are sent to China and sold as a form of medicine. Unfortunately for both the Chinese and the rhinos, rhino horns have no proven medicinal powers. They're made of keratin, the same thing as your fingernails and hair. But with the boom of the Chinese economy, demand has skyrocketed over the years, leaving the population of some species in the single digits. The problem has gotten so bad that game wardens are removing horns from rhinos to spare them from poachers' guns. Rhino protection is a serious business, with some species employing armed guards in order to protect themselves from would-be hunters. Snow leopards are big, majestic felines that are native to the mountains of South and Central Asia. Snow leopards have a magnificent pattern and live at semi-high altitudes, so they're rather rare to begin with. However, like all big cats, snow leopards are valued in Asian culture for their bones, skin, and medicine, for the supposed medicinal powers they hold. However, as in the case with all exotic animals, snow leopard bone powder does not contain any magical powers. In recent years, snow leopard poachings have increased because they're supposedly a viable substitute for tiger on the Asian medicinal market. Snow leopards also run into trouble with farmers when they prey on domestic livestock, such as sheep and goats, for food. The snow leopard population is estimated at around 5,000, landing them a spot on the World Wildlife Fund endangered list. Tuna is a very diverse and delicious fish. It goes great on a sandwich or char-grilled with a bit of fresh lemon. Hell, it's so good you can go ahead and eat it raw with a bit of soy sauce and wasabi. However, the universal love and appetite for this gargantuan fish has driven it into endangered status. Years of overfishing and underdevelopment of farming techniques have begun to pose a threat to the wild tuna population. Despite efforts to regulate the industry, overfishing is still wildly exploiting the last few tuna we have left. People just can't get enough of this delicious fish, as high-grade tuna has sold for as much as $1.8 million. That better be fresh. The axolotl, or Mexican salamander, is an amphibious creature found in, Mexico. They're a resilient species that's able to regrow any limbs they may lose in their day-to-day lives. However, that special power hasn't been able to save them from the likes of urbanization and water pollution. The population of the axolotl remains unknown because they're elusive as well as scarce. In fact, there are some experts that are already willing to pronounce the species extinct in the wild. However, though they might be gone from the wild, people do still keep them as pets. Because who can resist such a charming smile? Aww. Bumblebees have just recently made it onto the endangered species list. Bee populations have been steadily declining for about a decade now, but only recently has it reached a critical point. While you were busy running away from its sting, the bee has been busy dying, and that's not a good thing. We depend on bees to pollinate critical crops, and their unsung antics account for about $30 billion in agriculture. If we lost bees, we'd lose avocados, blueberries, virtually every other plant I can think of, and of course, delicious, delicious honey. And that is a dark, nasty world we don't even want to think about living in. We know this list hasn't been the happiest, so we saved you a bit of good news for the end. To save your waning faith in the world. The giant panda, after years of being endangered, has mounted a comeback in recent years, and that means there's still hope for all the lovable critters on this list. Thanks for tuning into our list of endangered animals that are almost extinct. For all things environmental, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Bye-bye now.